Hey, welcome to Simply Cyber's Daily Cyber Threat Brief. I'm your host, Dr. Gerald Auger, coming to you from the very wet Buffer Auger Flow studio here in the Low Country. Welcome to the program. If you're looking to stay current on the top cyber news stories of the day while doing it among friends who are all about support, inclusion, and empowerment and just kicking butt in the world of cyber, then you're in the right place. So grab your coffee, get comfortable. We got a great show for you. We're off and running. Yes, it's Friday. We made it, everybody. Another week in the books. Welcome to Simply Cyber. I am so happy to greet you and welcome you this morning. What's up, Steve Young at Tech? We got the left coast. Phil Stafford, Mr. Buddha is in the hizzy. Carrie's here, as always. Marcus hitting that elliptical. Sonny Allen, I saw you in chat. And Nintendo Dude, in the great state of Georgia, we're inching closer to becoming neighbors with you, my man. Guys, over the next hour, we are going to go through the top 8 cyber stories in the news. And, of course, we'll do the headline and give you the, surface level insights that you need to know just as a general practitioner in the cybersecurity industry. But we are also going to take my 20-plus years of knowledge and experience in my education and all of the Simply Cyber community's collective knowledge. And we are going to delve deep into each of these stories to find additional insights, additional value, things that you will not learn in a classroom or a textbook, things that are just gotten from sitting in the seat, and then deliver them to you, because the goal here is support, inclusion, and empowerment. And part of that triad of value is to make it so you can shortcut some of the lessons learned and just, basically stand on the shoulders of giants. So that's what we're doing here. We do it every day. Today is episode 1157. Woo! Remember Passenger 57, Wesley Snipes, that movie? Woo, that was a good one. Like, by the way, if you're looking for a great turn your brain off action movie this weekend, Passenger 57, not a bad option. So there are 8 stories. I will tell you, I don't research or prep for any of them.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Because ain't nobody got time for that. I'm not gonna set up and research and prep and then come in here like, oh, what I know. No, it's all rough, rugged, raw, off the cuff, and keeping the energy real. I am super pumped to be doing it. We'll see where we go, everybody. Now, every single day of the Simply Cyber Daily Cyber Threat Brief has a special segment, and Fridays is reserved and has been for years for this dude, James McQuiggan at 35,000 feet. If he's not laying his head down in his bed in his house, he is sitting in seat 3B, slightly reclined, waiting for the flight attendant to come bring him his bagel. Okay, that's why he's at 35,000 feet. But he also has dad jokes for days. He is going to delight us with some original dad jokes at the mid-roll. So 30 minutes from now, get ready for some rib tickling or some groaning. It's your choice how you react. But the jokes come through. I haven't read or reviewed them yet. I will see them in real time with you and read them. And it's just a fun little way to break the show up. Now, it is I don't want to say a serious show, but we are talking about serious topics. This is work related. So therefore, every single episode of the Daily Cyber Threat Brief is worth half a CPE. So if you have a cybersecurity certification, I continue to get comments about this. So let me be crystal clear. What I'm about to tell you is how the CPEs work, how the continuing professional education credits work. If you have questions about the CPEs, I'm about to give you all the answers. Every episode is worth half a CPE. The current model is to go to cyberthreatbrief.simplycyber.io/CPE. I just dropped the link in chat. You can look in the show description for this episode and find the link that I'm talking about right now. It will take you to this page. When you get to this page, you will see that it has today's date. June 19th is today's date. You'll put in your name, for example, Gerald Auger. Then your email address, geraldauger@yahoo.com or whatever. Then you check the 2 check boxes. hit submit attestation. It is logged in a database that I built and control. It is on the back end. That's all you have to do for attendance here today. Do that every time you show up. And here's a critical part that I think some people are missing. Once a month, I will send you an email. You don't have to do anything except sign that you were here using this form. You do not have to message me and ask you to send you something. You don't have to kick something off. It doesn't happen every single day. It happens on the first of the month, and you will get an email with the previous month's CPEs. If you are watching on replay, and today is June 23rd, and you're watching this June 19th episode, you will not be able to get credit for this episode. This form is available for 24 hours, starting at 8 a.m. Eastern time. So this form just started 5 minutes ago, and it will run until tomorrow at 7:59 a.m. Maybe on the weekends, it goes through the weekend. I'm not 100% sure about that. But my point is, you got to get it the day of. If you miss one, don't get sweaty, okay? You can get up to 120 CPEs a year using this daily cyber threat brief in this form. You typically only need 20 minimum a year. 40 is a good year. So, don't get sweaty if you miss some. Believe me, okay? Get your CPEs here. This doesn't cost you anything, by the way. You can show up and attend this webinar, this threat brief, for free. You can sign up and get your CPEs, get the email for free. And depending on how you feel about it, you will get these jokes for free. Now, if they're worth that cost, you'll have to decide and let James know. I'm being playful, James. All right, guys. If you're here for the first time, I know we got a bunch of first-timers this week. Crystal was here on Wednesday for the first time. She came back yesterday. Hands rubbing together that we get Crystal for a three-peat. If you're here for the first time, though, welcome to the party, pal. I hope you enjoy the show. This is basically what we do every day. So what we do ask, though, is if you would like to take one small step into the light, one small step into the process of networking and building relationships. The very first step you can do, it's a very small step. Drop a hashtag first timer in chat. The Belfast Bite Brawler. Oh my God, that sounds like a early 1900s European bare knuckle boxer. I love it. Good morning for the first time in a long time. Happy to be back listening live, not on replay in the car. On a much needed day off. Thank you, Blue Badge, 12 months, 1 year. Getting the honorary blue 1 year badge, Belfast Bite Brawler. Thank you so very much for being here today, and I'm glad that you get to be with us live. I'll do my best to make it a good one. All right, so first timers, holler. There's Crystal Marie, 26. What's up? Still here? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, Crystal. Glad you're enjoying the show and the program and the community. Crystal, I don't know if you found the Discord server, but ! Discord in chat right now. We have a whole server with the community and people helping each other over there. All right, guys, every episode is a lot of fun, but I can't do it without the stream sponsors. You guys know this. Anti-Siphon Training, love them. They are making... Anti-Siphon Training is disrupting the traditional cybersecurity training industry by offering high-quality, cutting-edge education to everyone, regardless of financial position. And right now, this is happening live, so you'd have to take advantage of this now. If you go to their website, anti-siphontraining.com, which, by the way, if you're wondering why is it anti-siphon, a siphon is a device that sucks liquid out of something, right? It sucks it. Anti-siphon means doesn't suck. That's what it is. It's right on the nose. Doesn't suck training, okay? Now, check it out. Right now, if you want, they are running training next Monday and Tuesday. There's still time to get your employer to cover you. 2 days, full 2-day training, virtual, so you don't have to travel. No hotel, no flights. Wade Wells, a very own community member, is doing a 2-day training on Cyber Threat Intelligence 101. This is great if you're a blue teamer, aspiring blue teamer, a pen tester who's looking to better understand how you're getting thwarted by the blue teamers. $575, but right now you can get 20% off with code SimplyCyber26, SimplyCyber26, which means you save like $100 roughly, right? So $61.20 455-ish. So like for probably like 460, you get the 2 days training. Pretty sick, dude. Super awesome. Thank you, Wade. I'll drop a link to Wade's training. Wade also volunteered and raffled off 3 vouchers to this training to Simply Cyber community members. So thank you, Wade. Always a good time. Love that guy. I also want to say shout out to Flare, guys. Flare, I've been telling you about Flare for a while. I love them. I use them. They're dope. Here's the deal with Flare, guys. Flare gives you a front row seat to the criminal underground, and it allows you to see how threat actors really operate, okay? This isn't speculative. This isn't industry reports. This is like legit data directly from cyber criminals, from ransomware crews, access brokers, stealer log marketplaces, Telegram leak channels. Flare shows how cybercrime actually happens, and now with its identity exposure management capabilities, it shows you how attackers log in. Effectively, what Flare's solution does, it does something very specific. They go get all of the data that they can pull from the dark web, stealer logs, infection logs, breach form chatter, all that, bring it into their platform, and then you can search for your users, your domain. It's all real data that real criminals have. So if a criminal has your CFO's laptop credentials or has an API key to your Claude instance or whatever, right? Your source code, like before it gets exploited and you have a real problem, you can go rotate those creds. You can go rotate those keys. You can go shut things down. You can go clean infections. This is unbelievable insight and value. Go to simplycyber.io/flare. simplycyber.io/flare. You can get a 2-week free trial. Basically, no questions asked. Just see if the product works for you. It is freaking awesome. I love it. Kishin InfoSec, I would not suggest reselling stolen data. That is a bad one. I will tell you, when you go to simplycyber.io/flare, you'll get this form right here. They do have to verify that you are a legitimate professional, because they do not want cyber criminals getting in here, because the value of the data is just too important. All right, guys. Of course, we have ThreatLocker. Thank you very much, ThreatLocker, for continuing to support the channel. ThreatLocker provides application deny by default. This business is growing strong. They now moved beyond the endpoint to do cloud and network. That was a huge update in March. Love it. Let's hear from ThreatLocker. I do see Daniel Lowry in chat. Ladies and gentlemen, if you would, do say hello to Daniel Lowry. I'm going to do it myself. Hi, Daniel. Daniel Lowry, not only an amazing professional and a gentle human, but he's going to be your host all next week on Simply Cyber's Daily Cyber Threat Brief while I step away from the mic for some family time. So Daniel, definitely pumped that you're here and pumped that you're going to be hosting next week. I want to give some love to the Daily Cyber Threat Brief sponsor, ThreatLocker. Do zero-day exploits and supply chain attacks keep you up at night? Well, worry no more. You can harden your security with ThreatLocker. Worldwide, companies like JetBlue trust ThreatLocker to secure their data and keep their business operations flying high. ThreatLocker takes a deny-by-default approach to cybersecurity and provides a full audit of every action allowed or blocked for risk management and compliance. Onboarding and operation is fully supported by their US-based Cyber Heroes support team. Get a free 30-day trial and learn more about how ThreatLocker can help prevent ransomware and ensure compliance. Visit threatlocker.com/dailycyber. All right. It's time. Everybody, Nintendo'd. I'm going to melt your face with the cyber news. Guys, do me a favor. Berg, SSJ, Code Brew, Mike Andruzzi, TJ, soap flavored. Good to see you. I need you to sit back. I need you to relax. Kind of put one hand up on the steering wheel.
Did we just become best friends? Yep.
Hold on. Happy Juneteenth Friday. Team SC, Space Tacos with a super chat. That's right. Happy Juneteenth. Thank you, Space Tacos, for bringing it to light. All right, guys, sit back, relax, and let's let the cool sounds of the hot news wash over us all in an awesome wave. See you guys at the mid-roll. Computer.
From the CISO series, it's cybersecurity headlines.
These are the cybersecurity headlines for Friday, June 19th, 2026. I'm Steve Prentice. Police clear up SOC Gaulish infected sites tied to Evil Corp. This joint action, supported by Europol and Eurojust, formed part of Operation Endgame. One of the objectives of Operation Endgame was to disrupt a key infection chain linked to Evil Corp. Law enforcement authorities from the Netherlands, Canada, the US, and Germany cleaned SOC Gaulish malware infections from almost 15,000 compromised WordPress websites and took 106 servers and domains offline. While they removed malware and backdoors from the infected sites, the agencies also advised website owners to change their credentials, enable multi-factor authentication, delete any unknown WordPress accounts, and keep their WordPress site up to date. Clue OAuth breach.
Computer. Jesus. It's hard to get good help these days. This computer doing its thing. This computer, by the way, I don't want to speak out of turn. It's not really polite for me to share this, but this computer's on a PIP. It's on a PIP right now. Valuations at the end of the quarter. It's not looking good for this one. Got to tell you. All right, so check it out. Couple things. One, obviously.
Regulators, mount up.
All right, so Nate Dogg and Warren G and Europol and Interpol just coming down with the hammer on Operation Endgame, cleaning up Evil Corp, SOC Ghoulish botnet. Now, couple things to point out. One, this is great for everybody. This is great for everybody because if you were running a WordPress website that was compromised, it is cleaned up now. So this is a major hit for organized cybercrime, the Evil Corp. Now, I will tell you, it's great that there was a coordinated effort to take down these 100 servers, clean up the WordPress sites. I was a little confused at first when it says that the law enforcement cleaned these websites. Listen, it's great that law enforcement wants to help you out, but dude, on first blush, when you say that law enforcement cleaned your machines, dude, vulnerability management is not if vulnerability management was just pushing the patch now button, it would be friggin' automated. Cleaning machines, re-imaging machines, removing applications, changing things, applying patches, depending on how you're cleaning machines, you can have operational disruption. You can bring systems down. So when I first read this, I was like, oh man, that's a bold move, Cotton. Let's see how that works out. But after going a little bit further in the story, this seems to be a JavaScript malware. So my suspicion is that cleaning the website is simply deleting those JavaScript files since they're basically imported or ingested as part of the loading of the web page. So I'm less sweaty about that. Now, law enforcement did this massive disruption, which is awesome. But they said, make sure that website owners change credentials, enable multi-factor authentication, delete any unknown WordPress accounts, and keep their WordPress set up to date. Dude, listen, in modern society, at least where I live, you can't get a driver's license unless you know how to drive a car. You don't just get a driver's license, right? I feel like with stuff like this, businesses are allowed, and I'm not trying to gate anyone, but it's just wild to me. Like, businesses are allowed to stand up a WordPress site. It's like going and buying a car and not having a freaking clue how to drive it. These controls right here, these recommended controls to prevent being infected next time, change your creds. Okay, reasonable because they were compromised. Enable MFA, delete unknown WordPress accounts, and then keep it up to date. This is the equivalent of saying, make sure you buckle your seatbelt, use your turn signals and drive at the speed limit or less. Like, no kidding. Like, those are fundamental. Dude, come on. Keep your site up to date. My guy, delete unknown accounts. Like, if you walked into your house and there's just some random Rafi from the league, right? That he's an outrageous character, but like some random person is sitting on your couch, you would want to delete them from your house. You know what I'm saying? It just kills me. All right, Mad Destroyer, coffee cup, cheers. He's giving out 5 gifted subs. Mad Destroyer, I can't pick up a deck of Magic cards and not think of you, dude. Looking forward to the next time we play. So, here's the deal. 2 things. 1, yes, you should absolutely clean all your stuff up. 2, they didn't arrest anybody. Okay? Which means this criminal collective is going to spin all this up. Dude, Evil Corp is making money hand over fist. And all you did was basically all you did was steal the tires off their car. They're going to go get new tires. They're going to put them on the car and they're going to keep driving. All right. Also, little fun fact, if you want to go down the rabbit hole and get a piece of pub trivia knowledge that you won't be able to use in any job interview or anything, Evil Corp is one of the rare cyber criminal threat actor groups that are a family, like a legit family. Hold on. Evil Corp, cyber criminal, which is crazy, right? Because it's even more difficult to penetrate because they're friggin' family members. Let me see if I can show you. Yeah, here we go. Just a little fun fact on a Friday. Oh, great. This is nice. So you can see here, if you're watching on, if you're listening on audio only, I'm sorry. I'm showing like a family tree of Evil Corp. But on the left side and on the bottom, those are family members. And then the employees are up here. And 2 of the employees are brothers. Here's the father, the father-in-law, the kids, the cousins. They're all involved. It's like legit. So dude, being able to penetrate this threat actor group as a double agent or as a sock puppet or as a undercover police officer, good friggin' luck. Dude, they have barbecues together. So anyways, it's a little you don't see this very often. Usually threat actor groups are collectives that don't really interact with each other in real life.
To Icarus Salesforce data theft attacks. The market intelligence platform Clue, that is KLUE, suffered an OAuth breach that enabled threat actors from Icarus to steal Salesforce CRM data from multiple organizations in an ongoing extortion campaign. Bleeping Computer reports that, quote, numerous organizations had their Salesforce data stolen and were now being extorted, end quote. Cybersecurity firms ReliaQuest and Huntress have both confirmed the security incident, with Huntress stating that their Salesforce data was stolen in the attack. Salesforce has now disabled the connection between itself and the Clue Battle Cards app.
Well, that sucks. All right, so number 1, I guess KLUE Clue Battle Cards. My understanding, I don't do sales. This is a fun fact. If you didn't know, so all the work I do with Simply Cyber, I guess I do send some marketing emails for Simply Cyber Academy, but for the most part, I don't do outbound sales. I don't cold call people. I don't hey, looks like you got a problem I can solve. It's just so I don't really know much about sales, but I believe battle cards are pre-canned responses. So if customer says, oh no, we already use competitor, you already have on the battle card a direct response to read to the customer in order to overcome their objections. That's what battle cards are. I'm pretty sure. If you work in sales, let me know if I'm close, or just tell us what a battle card is. Anyways, it's pretty solid. People have them integrated into their Salesforce app. And now, because of this breach, Salesforce has disabled the Clue battle cards. Here's my thing. If you are Clue, the company making this battle card, you probably just lost your single biggest, if not your only customer. This is devastating to Clue as a company, as I understand it. The threat actors got the service accounts and oath tokens associated with customer Salesforce instances, stole a bunch of data. Not a good look. I don't know what the question is. What did they get? Right? What did they get? The attackers mapped out the Salesforce objects to identify valuable objects and then stole the data all at once. In a 15-minute window, they stole all the data. So what do they steal, though? Like, what's the friggin' data, man? Shiny Hunters was not behind the attack. Okay, that's a fresh take on it. I don't get it. This is annoying. Like, they're trying to extort Clue, but what is the data that they stole? Oh, shoot. Huntress was actually one of the organizations impacted. So Huntress, which is a really successful, very healthy cybersecurity, like MDR research kind of company. John Hammond's over there. Matt Kiley's over there. I think they have like 600 employees now. Jen Easterly's on the advisory board. They were actually one of the impacted organizations and they received an extortion email as well. I don't understand, like, what data was compromised, my guy. Oh, this sucks. The attackers used a dormant but still active credential created by Clue for prototype integration. After they got in, they used that oath token to query all these things. And then Clue disabled the integrations. Okay, so Clue basically shut everything down in order to, like, get their house right. Clue shutting down all the integrations is effectively the same as pulling the plug on the internet at a business. Like, all their integrations, Salesforce, HubSpot, SharePoint, Zoom, Google Drive. I mean, these are all huge. What got stolen? Huntress reports it was CRM related information, business contacts, sale comms, price quotes, competitive intel reports. So it's not, I don't know if anyone's going to pay the ransom, frankly. Like, I don't know. Like, the data was exfilled. It wasn't deleted, right? So Huntress has all of its CRM contacts still. Clue has it, but, like, I doubt Clue is going, like, what would be the value of this, right? So, like, Huntress, let's say Huntress and Arctic Wolf are competitors. Is Clue going to contact Arctic Wolf and be like, "Hey, Arctic Wolf, would you like to purchase Huntress's data?" Like, maybe you could get some dodgy organization that would want to do that, but, like, I doubt Arctic Wolf's going to do that. For example, so I don't really know who the buyer is for this data. And then if it gets out, like, what, I don't know. I just don't think it's that good. Now, final as a fun tie-in, it did say Icarus. It wouldn't be me if my first thought wasn't the unbelievable Nintendo video game Kid Icarus. This is considered one of the hardest, one of the harder games in Nintendo history to beat. I beat it. I just want to take ownership. This was like my heyday of my youth. This game was brutal, though. This game was brutal. But they did invent the side scrolling and then the vertical scrolling in the same game. The eggplant guy was such a jerk. Like, your head would turn into an eggplant, and then you'd have to go like you'd have to spend like an hour. Listen, this game is only good if you literally have so much free time. So anyways, Kid Icarus, pick it up.
Hostile states behind 3/4 of attacks on Britain's critical infrastructure, says Cyber Chief. Richard Horne, chief executive of the National Cybersecurity Center, said that his teams had handled more than 200 incidents affecting critical infrastructure and its supporting ecosystem in the year to May, of which about 75% were believed to be the work of state actors. This follows his disclosure from earlier this year that his agency was, quote, handling 4 nationally significant cyber incidents in a week, with the majority traced back to what are believed to be hostile governments rather than criminal hackers, end quote. Speaking at the annual security lecture at the Royal United Services Institute on Wednesday, Horn warned that, quote, kinetic targeting in any conflict tomorrow will be based on intelligence gathered today, end quote, and that adversaries were pre-positioning throughout British critical infrastructure.
Okay. Whatever. I'm sure this guy right here in this picture is very smart. And I mean, he's in a position of power. He's the CEO of the National Cybersecurity Center of Great Britain. Okay. So, like, this guy definitely smart. I'm not taking anything away from him. But, like, who is he talking to when he says tomorrow's attacks are based on recon gathered today? Isn't that how it's been since, like, I don't know, the dawn of time? Like, do you think Hannibal marched the elephants over the mountains to attack the Roman Empire? And he was just like, I don't know. Let's just send the elephants in that direction. We'll see what happens. You know what I mean? Like, what are we doing here? Of course, the recon happens today. It's the kill chain is well established, my guy. It's like the friggin' first step. Nobody opens the trunk, shoots a missile out the back, closes the trunk and drives home, turns on CNN and sees where it landed. What are we doing? Okay. So whatever thought leadership we're getting from this conference here, I guess some hostile states behind 3/4 of attacks on Britain's critical infrastructure. Yeah. Another thing, like, dude, non-hostile states, non-hostile. I mean, by definition, hostile. Like, I'm surprised it's not 100% of hostile states are behind attacks. Like, I'm actually sorry. I'm interested in the 1/4 of non-hostile states that are attacking Britain. What's their problem? They like having a bad day? Are you? I'm just going to attack Britain. I'm sorry. Going through some stuff at home. I'm actually non-hostile. But, you know, I was rooting for Algeria to beat Argentina, and we absolutely got it smoked. I'm having a rough day. Let's attack. Okay, so anyways, I guess the thing that I'm going to take away from this for you guys, there's nothing here for you and I to do day to day. Roswell, UK is probably the closest one who would have anything on this. All I'll say about this is it is clear that nation-state threat actors that are sophisticated and hostile, although I would argue that hostile is a subjective term, right? Who's defining them as hostile, right? Remember, guys, one country, like if you were to say this is a terrorist cell, right? Again, I'm not justifying terrorism in any way, so do not misunderstand what I'm saying. I'm saying perspective-wise, if this group is considered a terrorist, the same group is considered a patriot by others. The American Revolutionary War, the Americans were considered terrorists to Great Britain. George Washington was a terrorist to Great Britain. George Washington was a patriot, and he's on the dollar bill and the quarter, and he's got a, kind of Egyptian-looking standing pyramid downtown D.C. You know what I'm saying? So, like, who says it's hostile, first of all? So that's subjective. Let's not get crazy. But the important thing here is, oh, you know what? I think Soap Flavored's got it, right? The other quarter, it's not non-hostile states. It's hostile organized threat actor groups that are not state-sponsored. I'll give you that one, Soap Flavored. Nice job. Let's give you a W. Okay, but here's the important thing. First world powers are setting up in critical infrastructure. China is not alleged, I mean, this is confirmed, has set up with their Flax Typhoon, Salt Typhoon, Volt Typhoon threat actor groups in many Western power critical infrastructure, energy sector, ISPs, telecommunications, right? So they're setting up the infrastructure. I would be stunned stunned if the United States wasn't also doing similar things, Israel doing similar things, Russia doing similar things, right? It's just, dude, it's just the way of the world right now. So anyways, not a lot to get out of this story.
Mark Warner has an urgent
All right, Phil Stafford is correcting me. It is an obelisk. That is much better than the word I was going to use.
message regarding CISA cuts and staffing gaps. On Tuesday, Senator Mark Warner sent a letter to CISA Acting Director Nick Anderson in which he expressed alarm over widespread cuts at the agency, short-staffed regional divisions, and the disbanding of an information sharing and analysis center that supports state and local critical infrastructure operators, end quote. Warner also last week introduced legislation known as the Guaranteeing Universal Access to Cybersecurity Act, which would fund the Multi-State Information Sharing and Analysis Center, which had been shuttered by now former DHS Secretary Kristi Noem. Also on Tuesday, Warner sent a letter to the current DHS Secretary, Mark Wayne Mullen, stressing that the DHS must prioritize CISA and pay for the Multi-State Information Sharing and Analysis Center.
All right, guys. I mean, I will tell you, this guy, Rob Warner, let's see if we can get his, Mark Warner, excuse me. I thought it was Rob. This guy right here, this guy's Democrat from Virginia. He's one of the, there's a couple, I think, Wyden is another one. There's a couple, senior federal government officials that are like constantly banging the drum for cybersecurity. So thanks to this guy. Basically, Kristi Noem, under her leadership at DHS, changed the I'm going to keep this super apolitical, by the way, so don't get all frothed up. Kristi Noem, when she was leading DHS, changed the priorities to focus a lot on border immigration, right? As you guys are all aware, right? ICE and that whole situation. Election security was getting like routed, and cybersecurity got routed. Jen Easterly was, not politically aligned with the current administration, and she left right before they took over. And CISA has been basically gutted. Remember, CISA is a sub-agency under Department of Homeland Security in the United States federal government. So all funding for CISA, it comes directly from DHS. And the decision maker, whoever's the director or the secretary of DHS, gets to decide how much, porridge you get in your bowl, right? Please, sir, may I have some more, right? There's my best British, what was that from? Oliver Twist? It's my best Oliver Twist impression. But they get to decide. Now, this guy's basically coming off the top rope and saying, hey, listen, Nick Anderson, I know you're in charge of CISA temporarily, but let me tell you, we've got a massive problem. We need you to fund information sharing and analysis, the MSISACs. Warner is contacted all 50 governors, letting them know what's up. So hopefully, this does something. Like, here's my thing. I don't know. Maybe I'm stupid and just don't understand how it works. But like, dude, sending a strongly worded letter to the acting director of CISA, like, is that how you get change made? Like, I'm just picturing Nick Anderson sitting down with a cup of coffee this morning and opening this letter and being like, okay, you know what I mean? So I agree, though. I agree. I think CISA is great for the United States. I think CISA is great for cybersecurity. I think the budget cuts that were made to CISA hurt CISA's ability to help deliver value and opportunity and support to public and private sector cybersecurity. There's a lot of information sharing going on with CISA, a lot of coordination. Also, a lot of help for like small local governments. So, anyways, we'll see.
Huge thanks to our sponsor, ThreatLocker.
Hold on 1 second. Sorry, ThreatLocker. Hold on. Anderson announced that CISA is hiring 300 workers, with some having already started. Okay. Go on. Bro, if someone in chat can get a job at CISA, that sounds pretty dope. Let me know.
Every security leader is being asked the same question right now. How do we enable innovation without creating unnecessary risk? That's the challenge behind cloud adoption, behind AI, behind automation, and behind every major technology decision. ThreatLocker helps organizations take a zero-trust approach to that challenge, giving them greater control over what can execute, what can access their environment, and what users and applications are allowed to do. That's why ThreatLocker is proud to support cybersecurity headlines, because security works best when innovation and control move together.
All right. Holla, holla, holla. Guys, thanks so much for being here. Hope you're getting value from the show. Thank you very much. If today's your first episode and you just joined us a little late, drop a hashtag first timer in chat. Wow, I am stunned at the head count in the stream right now. I'm not sure if everybody's just taking a long day off. We're actually at 243 people in chat, which is dramatically lower than what we normally have. So if you're here right now, thank you for being here. I appreciate you making this part of your day. Thanks again to the stream sponsors, ThreatLocker, Anti-Siphon, and Flare. As always, appreciate that they're supporting. Every single day of the week has a special segment. And Fridays is Dad Jokes of the Week, presented by James McQuiggan at 35,000 feet. Here we go. All right. Oh, by the way, quick shout out. I do want to say this. I had lunch yesterday with Ethan Robish from Black Hills Information Security. So quick little shout out to him. He's like less online, like less visible in the public zeitgeist, but I'm pretty sure he's like employee 2 at Black Hills Information Security. Really cool dude. And just shout out to him. I'm glad he swung by. That was fun. All right, here we go. James McQuiggan at 35,000 feet. James's jokes. Here they come in. All right, everybody. Now remember, James made these jokes, not me. So don't. What's the difference between a dad joke and a bad joke? What's the difference between a dad joke and a bad joke? Here we go. The first letter. Okay. I love it. That's a good one, James. Thank you. What's a groundbreaking Father's Day gift that Grayson and Callan gave their dad? So, guys, Father's Day is this Sunday. Shout out to all the dads out there and all the people who function in a father role for somebody. I know in 2026, we have our eyes wide open to all the different ways people provide fatherly advice and fatherly wisdom and fatherly support and security. It's not always a dude, right? Sometimes it's an uncle. Sometimes it's a mom who's double shifting, right? All these things. Crystal Marie with the squad membership, from first timer to regular to squad member. Crystal, holler at you. Thanks so much, Crystal. In the emote tray, you'll get access to a whole bunch of more emotes. I'm going to stop really quick and give you the Oprah emote. Yes, sir. There we go, Crystal. Thanks for joining the squad. All right, listen. What's a groundbreaking Father's Day gift that Grayson and Callan, my kids, gave me for Father's Day? A shovel. Oh, my God. All right. It's a groundbreaking gift. They said, Dad, here's a shovel. The cool thing is, though, if I was to be given a shovel, I want one of those like military ones that like fold up and you can put in a backpack. That would be pretty cool. I own a hatchet for the same reason. I've never used it. I don't have anything to cut down with a hatchet, but I wanted a hatchet. I think I got it for Father's Day a few years ago. Still in the garage. But having a hatchet is super awesome. Why wasn't Grayson's gift better than Callan's gift? Okay, I have 2 kids. They both gave me gifts for Father's Day. Why was Grayson's gift? Why wasn't it better than Callan's gift? Well, because it was a tie. That's right. Oh, my God. The kids gave me a tie for Father's Day, so one gift wasn't better than the other. Happy Father's Day to the dads out there and to me. Thank you, James McQuiggan. Same to James McQuiggan, a dad himself. Even though his daughters are grown up, I'm sure they're his little girl. Guys, to all the dads out there, happy Father's Day. Make sure, if you can, call your dad or at least think about them if they've already passed on. In Ask Me at the Cyber Career Hotline, I have a really bizarre thing about my dad that I thought about the other day, and I ran it by my family, and they're like, that is not good. Like, don't do that, Jerry. So if you remember, Ask Me at Cyber Career Hotline, but let's slide back into the news. Let's go.
Apple fixes Beats Studio Buds flaw that allowed eavesdropping. Security updates have now been deployed to patch a high-severity flaw affecting the Beats Studio Buds wireless earbuds that could, quote, allow attackers in Bluetooth range to spy on users' conversations, end quote. Specifically, Apple explained in an advisory that an attacker within Bluetooth range may be able to listen through the microphone of a device which is not yet paired and actively seeks paired requests. Apple blames the CVE-numbered flaw on a vulnerability in open-source code with Apple software amongst its affected projects. The vulnerability stems from a missing authentication weakness in the Bluetooth BR/EDR radio.
All right, so this is a pretty niche vulnerability. It could lead to a compromise of confidentiality of a conversation, right? So, like eavesdropping on a conversation. Of course, this does have real implications, but it's incredibly, in my opinion, obscure and one-off. Of course, several things would have to be, just right for this to work. Bluetooth is pretty cool. Okay. I actually thought for a hot minute of focusing my dissertation research on Bluetooth and Bluetooth vulnerabilities and stuff like that. I just didn't think it would have longevity of, value. So anyways, this flaw has been fixed. So if you have an iPhone and you keep it up to date, you're good to go.
You gotta patch it.
But the cool thing is, I'll tell you two things. One, the cool thing is your phone would have to be looking for a Bluetooth device, which is possible if it's set to like auto search for things. You would have to be within, 15, 20 feet of the person. So if there's like a, Richard Gere in Pretty Woman is entering the boardroom on the 50th floor to have this crazy corporate takeover super meeting or whatever, big money's going to be shared. Ooh. And you're going to spy on that meeting to get some competitive advantage. You better hope you're on the 49th floor, right? You're not standing across the street. And don't come at me with your Pringles cans and your Bluetooth rifle guns and all that stuff. So you'd have to have the Beats headphones, the device. Like, there's a lot of things that have to be right. This feels very much like an academic exercise where this research was discovered in an incredibly controlled setting. But it's cool, right? It's fun to hear Bluetooth vulnerabilities. The one thing I want to point out really quickly is don't sleep. Like if you're interested, okay? If you're interested, don't sleep on protocols, okay? And I know that this is going to sound ridiculous, but don't sleep on protocols, okay? When two devices communicate with each other, they have to use a protocol so both of the devices know how to communicate with each other, know how to handle compromised or corrupted communications, know how to ingest, know what to expect to send, know what to expect to receive, having agreed upon.
Best friends. Yep.
The Belfast Bite Brawler says, do you sleep in on Father's Day after that 18-hour drive? Oh my God. We'll see, dude. We'll see. In years past, I don't sleep in. I get up because my body is programmed to get up like that. I don't actually require a lot of sleep, Belfast. Like 6 hours is kind of where I sit. But a lot of people just take for granted, like, oh, like I connect to the wireless and I'm done. Or like, oh, I want to pair my Bluetooth. Okay, boom, I pair a Bluetooth. But don't sleep on protocol. There is a lot of opportunity to analyze and study protocols. This book right here is one of my favorite. It's not my favorite, but it's one of my favorites. TCP/IP Illustrated. This is a classic computer science text. If you want to be ultra nerd, this book is about this thick, right? It's thick enough like a dictionary, and it gets right into all the protocols. Let me show you this. Hold on. Oh yeah, I mean, like, come on now. Look at this. Like, this is just one diagram. Like, the whole book is illustrations. You guys know I have like an unhealthy penchant for Richard Baitlick doing this thing. I have an unhealthy addiction to infographics. This book is basically infographics for protocols all day, every day. But what I want to show you is TCP stack. Actually, let me do the Bluetooth stack. Bluetooth protocol stack. Okay. I just want to show you this really quickly. All right. When you look at the Bluetooth protocol stack, I mean, this isn't exactly what I want, but I don't want to waste any more of your time. When you look at the Bluetooth protocol stack, there's all sorts of things in here, right? Physical bus driver, audio, L2 cap, the radio controller, the link controller, right? All of these things. And within each of those, if you were to double click into each of those things, there's definitions like the first 2 bytes represent, the vendor, and the next 2 bytes are for data, and the next 4 bytes are not used for anything. This is how threat actors are able to hide shell code and, arbitrary code into packets of payloads and warp the protocols. Go back and look, just as like a fun exercise, go back and look at ping of death. This doesn't work anymore because the modern operating systems and network stacks know how to do it. But ping of death was an attack where like you would send an ICMP packet, but you would manipulate the packet so the receiving device, the protocol stack, would not be able to handle it properly, and it would straight up like basically cook itself. All right. Denial of service attacks. Very cool. All right. So all I'm saying is this Bluetooth story, it was an attack on the protocol stack of the Bluetooth. So it's very deep in the weeds, but don't think that it's just all about like at the application layer when you're doing attacks. You can attack the network. I mean, not the network. You can attack the packets in the protocol stacks as well. A lot of good meat in there. Honestly, this is kind of a stupid analogy, but it's like a crab claw, right? Like, yeah, obviously the lobster meat, the crab meat, look at the leg. Nom, 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 dip it in butter. Nom, 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 nom. But dude, don't sleep on cracking that shell open, that claw, and getting some of that claw meat. That's what's in those protocols. That claw meat. Okay. Trust me. If you know, if you've had crab or lobster, you know what's up. Okay. Oh, and then really quickly, someone in chat asked, what was my dissertation on? I'll just really quickly, I can just link you my dissertation. This is my dissertation. It's published at Dakota State University. I'll drop a link in chat. It's not going to win an award. Like, James Patterson's not calling me and being like, Jerry, can we collaborate on my next book with Tom Clancy or whatever? No, like it's very dry. It's a doctoral thesis dissertation.
Dragon Force hackers abuse Microsoft Teams relays to hide C2 traffic. A custom Go-based remote access Trojan called backdoor.turn, T-U-R-N, is being used to conceal command and control traffic inside Microsoft Teams relay infrastructure. Symantec and Carbon Black state the backdoor has been deployed against a major U.S. services firm, although the name of that company has not been disclosed. In short, backdoor.turn obtains an anonymous Teams visitor token from Microsoft's Skype-backed identity services, uses a legitimate Microsoft Turn relay to set up the connection, and then runs a quick session QUIC to the attacker's real command and control server while remaining invisible to network defenders.
Oh, wow. All right, so this is complicated, and I'm not going to be able to fully harness this based on just what I heard and what, because I don't research or prep for this, but this is cool. So essentially, some advanced threat actor, if you are a red teamer, right, which I know is a kind of an obscure, not obscure, but like there's not a ton of us in here, but if you're a red teamer or a pen tester aspiring to be a red teamer, this is wildly interesting. If you protect organizations from nation state threat actors, this is interesting. So when threat actors attack, they almost always have C2, which is shorthand for command and control. And if you don't know, command and control is basically a server. Typically, it could be something other than a server, but for the most part, for the sake of description, a server on the internet that the criminal threat actor controls, right? It's their machine. And any compromised endpoints out there in the world, right? So I'm a bad guy and I compromise Code Brew's machine. His machine is programmed to reach out to my server, my command and control server, my C2 server, to get commands to control it. That's why it's called command and control. Again, it can be done different ways other than a server, but just for the sake of description. So because Code Brew and Crystal and Roswell UK's machines are reaching out to my controlled server, there's network traffic that shows their device reaching out to my device, which means it can stand out in traffic. It can be identified by SOC analysts as known bad. And, basically the jig is up. What these threat actors are doing is they're using a relay technique, which is not, innovative. Like relays have been around for a while, right? Like the Tor network is a network of relays, right? But what they're doing is they're relaying it through legitimate Teams servers. So if you were to look at the telemetry in the logs, all your endpoints are talking to Teams server. Now, listen, if you're not using Microsoft Teams in your environment, that would stand out. But many, many organizations are using Teams. So as a threat actor, as a defender, if you're never going to flag traffic going to Team servers. You'd be looking for a needle in a stack of needles if you even knew that this technique was being used. So it's the Microsoft traversal using relays around NAT infrastructure. They did have to exploit a SQL server, but they don't really know how yet. So this relay thing seems like it's in support of the overall attack, not the initial attack. Well, obviously it's the C2, but like they had to compromise the asset first to get in there. Let's see. Bring your own vulnerable driver technique. Sure. When you do BYOVD, though, you have to be on the endpoint already. You have to compromise the endpoint to get in there to then, side load your own drivers, okay? Ugh, this is so gross. All right, so there's a lot of things you have to do here. I know tax season is already kind of passed, so I don't know if this is a post-mortem. I still have to file my taxes. I know some people just filed their taxes, but essentially it looks like the initial targeting is coming in, pretending to be tax-related documents, people searching for tax-related documents, which, say someone in the finance office is searching and a threat actor has done malvertising to show up as like, oh, this is what a W-9 form is. This is a 1099 form, and then you download it, and now you've got malicious code on your box. Educate your end users around just being weary of what sites they're going to. Obviously there's typo domain squatting, etc. You definitely want to use a defense in depth approach here. So you want EDR, endpoint detection and response, or anti-malware at a minimum on your endpoints. That way, if someone were to download something like this and go to run it on their machine, the anti-malware would flag it and catch it and hopefully protect that that user from infecting themselves. Let's see if there's any more like IOCs, things you can look for in your network to see if you have a compromise. I don't see it. They did have some file names. Let me see if the file names. Yeah, they have these drivers that are being used in the attack, but I wouldn't think that these would be useful from a threat hunting perspective. Because like if I run this driver on your box and take it over, I'd probably delete it once I own you in order to, clean up my mess and make sure that you don't get attacked. Pretty cool piece of tech. Let's see. It looks like here's a report from the research group at Semantic. Yeah. Oh, cool. Oh, stop. Behave. Okay, hold on. Crystal, I know you're relatively new here, but you did sign up for a squad membership. This is an infographic. It's the full kill chain. It is a Friday. Give me a minute, guys. If you're a squad member, find that saxophone. Oh, so good. Was it? I hope you guys enjoy this infographic as much as I do. So much information, so logically laid out. Gorgeous bit of work here. I'm going to share this with everybody. It's not behind a paywall. You don't have to sign up for monthly things. Oh, yeah, it's so good. Okay, let's keep going.
F5 patches critical Nginx vulnerabilities enabling unauthenticated code execution. Out-of-band patches have been issued from multiple Nginx vulnerabilities, including 2 critical flaws, both CVE numbered and both with a CVSS score of 9.2. These affect HTTP modules and can be exploited remotely without authentication to trigger memory corruption, potentially causing service restarts or enabling arbitrary code execution. The first of these is a critical use after free vulnerability in a module of Nginx open source, while the other is a critical heap-based buffer overflow vulnerability.
What? A heap-based buffer overflow? So what, you got to get this F5 cooking? And once it reaches a certain temperature, you can exploit it? That's like the wildest side channel attack I've heard of. Okay. Okay. Attackers can execute code on systems with ASLR disabled. My guy, ASLR has come enabled by default in operating systems since like 2015. So yeah, if you want to do that, you can. You can bypass ASLR, which is true if you wanted to, but it does elevate the level of sophistication here. Belfast Bite Brawler with 5 gifted subs coming off the top rope. This guy's dropping elbows. Thank you very much, Bite Brawler. If you're one of the people who just picked up that squad membership, you got him to thank. Thank you so much, dude. Loving that you're loving the show. Oh, critical heap-based buffer overflow. Heap. H-E-A-P, heap. That makes a lot more sense than heat-based buffer overflow. Yeah, guys, at the end of the day, buffer overflows are still existing in 2026. People that tell you otherwise don't know what they're doing. This is pretty gnarly. Remote code, unauthenticated attacks. You want to get those patched. You gotta patch it. And I'm sorry, I'm kind of like just smearing this story, not doing a great job. It's a 9.2. What's the other one? Is the other one 9.8? Yeah, they're both 9.2s. I mean, they're critical. These are like real deal, kind of operating system level flaws. You don't want to screw around with them. If you're running F5 in your network stack, go ahead and patch it, period, full stop.
Majority of internet accessible RedCap servers outdated, says Census. RedCap is a browser-based platform used for building and managing clinical research data in the medical field. It was developed by Vanderbilt University and is used by academic, healthcare, and non-profit organizations. A report just issued by Google's threat intelligence group says legacy RedCap servers are, quote, routinely targeted by a China-linked threat actor tracked as UNC 6508 for cyber espionage purposes, end quote. In one instance, the attacker deployed the Infinite Red backdoor 3 months after the initial intrusion. 1 year after remaining undetected, the hacking group used the harvested credentials to access the organization's internal network and exfiltrate data. According to the census report, there are approximately 8,500 internet-exposed RedCap instances globally, but just over 1% of them run the latest version available.
All right, so here we go. I've got real deal for you. I worked at MUSC, multi-billion-dollar academic medical center. One of the first systems I ever did a risk assessment on was a RedCap server. I know, like, there's literally as soon as I end this stream or when someone's talking during Cyber Career Hotline, I'm going to email somebody this story and tell them to get it sorted out. That's the play here. RedCap, it sits on a Unix box. It's basically used for clinical trials, not always clinical trials, but like when you're doing research in healthcare, RedCap is kind of a standard, free or low cost solution that's been baked and developed over the years to just basically get it done, right? It's easy. I would never have thought that state-sponsored actors would have discovered it. Remember, like we're talking about, they attribute it to China, but remember, China, as I've covered multiple times, is all about espionage. They're excellent at espionage, and they're collecting data for, securing their national power, their foothold in the world geopolitical landscape. But also, I mean, they have lots of citizens. They have lots of needs. They're a huge country. So if they can, when it comes to research and intellectual data, I just want everybody to think about this for a hot minute, okay? Because I feel like if you don't think about it, you're like, but then when you talk about it, it becomes obvious and you're like, great point. When we talk about information, whether it's clinical trial information, the secret formula for the COVID vaccine, the best way to clean water to make it drinkable, like whatever it is, okay? Cancer research, it doesn't matter, okay? Electric batteries for cars, like whatever it is, the value of that, you got to remember, if you start with nothing, you have to hire people with knowledge and talent to be able to do the work and research. So there's a cost right there. Let's say 10 people, 100 grand a year, $1 million a year you're paying to develop some technology. Then you have all of the infrastructure in order to enable those 10 people to do all the things that they need to do. Trials, testing, R&D, etc. So let's say that's another $1 million a year just in infrastructure and crap, okay? So now we're $2 million a year annual run rate. On top of that, maybe you get some, you have some successes, you have some fallbacks, whatever it is, okay? So let's say it takes you 2 years to find out how to solve the problem, whatever it is. You're in for $4 million, and then someone can just, by the way, $4 million cash and 2 years of time. Time is money. Don't forget this. Time is money. So now you got $4 million plus 2 years, and then someone just reaches in and goes, copy paste. Now they didn't spend $4 million, and they go from zero to having the answer in 10 minutes. It's incredibly valuable. Incredibly valuable. Okay, so that's just what's up. And this RedCap server instance, it's just another one. I'm sure these threat actors are targeting all the solutions that are popular in medical, healthcare, military. Okay, that's what's up. Period, full stop. But I will tell you, if you worked at an academic medical center, if you've ever worked anything with RedCap, my recommendation would be let them know, because this is gross. It sounds like it's easily exploitable. Sounds like it's happening, and it sounds like there's 8,500 internet-facing versions. All right, thanks for coming to my TED Talk. All right, guys, we did the thing. Daily Cyber Threat Brief, thank you so very much. I want to get to the Cyber Career Hotline. Phone lines are open. It's Friday, which means we're going to have a panel. Right now, I see one panel member in chat with me, so maybe it'll be a more intimate experience, more of an infograph style experience on the Daily Cyber Threat Briefs Cyber Career Hotline. I'm Jerry from Simply Cyber. If you got to get out of here, happy Juneteenth, happy Father's Day, happy day, everyone. And remember, Daniel Lowry will be your host all next week. You guys won't see my face, but I'll be thinking about you guys. Have a good one, and until next time, stay secure.
I'm Dr. Gerald Osher. This is the Cyber Career Hotline. If you're building a career in cybersecurity, this show is for you. Let's get into it.
All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the party. Oh my God, hold on. I'm hideous. What's up, everybody? It's Jerry Guy coming at you live, hot off the heels of the Daily Cyber Threat Brief podcast. I am hosting Cyber Career Hotline. Let's get the phone lines open and welcome our panelist guest, James McQuiggan at 35,000 feet. Hey, James, how's it going?
I'm getting in the mood here for that infographic. Oh, no, forget this. Hang on. Let me turn the light on.
I love it. I love it. I love it. So here's the deal, guys. Every single day at 9 a.m. Eastern, right after the Daily Cyber Threat Brief, we have Cyber Career Hotline. It's very simple. It is an Easter egg hidden program, and it's for you. It's completely service of AMA. If you have cyber career questions, cyber anything questions, put them in chat. James and I will do our best to answer it. We may add some panelists here. Ladies, as always, I know it's Father's Day weekend, but ladies, we're always open to having anyone on the panel who would like to deliver value to the community. So, don't be shy. If you want, just DM me in chat. James, how you doing? You ready for Father's Day?
I'm actually traveling on Father's Day. I will spend Sunday morning with my dad. My oldest daughter is back in Denver. Actually, she's doing a show, so I won't get to see her Father's Day. But she was just here last week, so Father's Day is kind of going to be kind of weird this year. So, which is fine. For me, every day is Father's Day, right?
There you go. I love it. So, if you have questions, put them in chat with a Q. I do want to share with the community something. I think this might make it uncomfortable for folks here, but so my father passed away in 2013. Now, that's fine. It happens. It's the circle of life, right? Like, get your Simba and hold him up. I have multiple voicemails from my dad because I used Google Voice, and my dad would call and leave voicemails because I was not the, whatever. I just didn't pick up the phone a lot. So I have all these voicemails, and every once in a while I will go randomly and listen to the voicemails. And it's just like, hey, it's your dad, like, thanks for coming by, or, did you see the Patriots game? Give me a call. All right. It's very simple stuff. And I will just get emotional about it. Aww. And, it's just, I miss my dad, but I was thinking the other day, because of all this freaking AI stuff, I went into my family the other day and I was like, hey, what do you guys think about this? Like, I have enough audio files of my dad. I could create an avatar that I could talk with. What do you think about that? And like, kind of brief, like, what the personality was of my dad. And my family was like, don't do that. That's incredibly creepy. Like, don't do that. So the potential is there. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. So there's that. We got questions coming in. If you want to comment on that, let me know. But I do want to answer your questions. Michael Fink says, what was for dinner in that Ethan Robish photo? Looked fun. We actually had lunch at a local place called Rancho Lewis. It's a dynamite place. In fact, if you attended Simply CyberCon and went to the speaker dinner, it's the same restaurant. I find every excuse I can to go to that restaurant. And I had the brisket. Yeah, for sure. I had the brisket tacos. Ethan and I talked for like 2 hours. It was great. Sent a photo to John Strand. What are good OSINT tools for getting geolocations from pictures? Soulshine says. James, you got thoughts on OSINT?
Yeah, just a few. Ironically, I've actually tried using large language models. I did a talk a couple of years ago at Wild West Hack and Fest Denver, and we talked about OSINT on images, using Google Images. I use ChatGPT. There are a couple other tools, and they're escaping me right now because it's not something I do every day. It's something I do every now and again. But there are some good tools that are out there. Hit up Dennis Keefe if he's on. If I didn't see him in chat, but if he's here, he's definitely somebody to hit up. But I did use ChatGPT. I didn't use Gemini or Claude at the time to do the search, and it was hit or miss, but it kind of gives you a good start to be able to find certain things. But I know there are tools out there that allow you to find locations.
Yeah, the best OSINT tool I know of Soulshine is Michelle Kahn.
Oh yeah, when it comes to OSINT, yeah, Michelle is top notch.
Yeah, he's amazing. Actually,
he's also very, very busy. I can't even get him on chat sometimes.
Oh yeah, no, he's a wicked busy dude. He absolutely he has a video right now where like one of these magicians that has his face covered and like gives away all the secrets. Michelle found where he was and like basically doxed him. So let's see. If you got questions, drop them. Hey, I want to give a quick shout out. I see Luke Canfield in chat. Just talking about whatever, but Luke is going to be doing a Black Hills anti-siphon anti-cast on drones and mesh comms coming up here in a few Wednesdays. So Luke Canfield, just a quick shout out to you, man. When I saw that, I was
very
like,
cool.
Hell yeah. Nice job, Luke. Love it, love it, love it. All right. It is a Father's Day weekend. This is Cyber Career Hotline. So if you got questions, drop them in chat. We are here to help you. Let's see. James Soulshine says, have you ever pulled a prank on a family member using your deep fakes?
No. I love my family, and my wife would kill me. So I have thought about it, I will admit. In a lot of the audio stuff that I've done, people are like, have you ever tried to do that on your wife? I'm like, no, I like being married. It just would, it from a moral standpoint, it's just like, yeah, no, I show them the deep fakes that I've done of me, of other people, just for, wow purposes. But no, I haven't deep faked any family members.
All right, there you go. I have not done it either. But I could certainly see, I mean, deep faking is like an incredibly effective way at demonstrating, like you can describe it, but when you show it, it's something else.
Yeah.
I just want to give a quick shout out here too. I see a question from Belfast Pipe Brawler, but just a quick shout out to Thinks Canary Tokens, not a sponsor. Love their product. They don't even sell these shirts. I like tried to buy one and I messaged them. I was like, how do I buy one of your shirts? And like literally the next day, a package showed up with a shirt and a bunch of stickers. So shout out to them.
Thinks it is cool.
All right. When presenting CIS assessment findings to leadership, how do you balance reporting control deficiencies honestly, while also recognizing the organization's operational and budget constraints? I mean, here's the thing, Belfast Bright Brawler, when you're briefing on current risk posture, which effectively is what you're doing, you've got to be real. Like, say your maturity score goes from 0 to 5. Okay. A lot of people get confused that like you're trying to get to 5. Like that's the goal. Like you're trying to like win the race. In reality, you're trying to get to a level of security maturity that aligns with what your organization's tolerance is, which is related to budget and governance attitude. Like what's the tone of the organization and what are they willing to accept and not accept? So what I would do, I always try to present these things objectively. Like here, like for these assessment findings, like here's where we are. You can have all 18. It depends on what implementation guidance level you're trying to do too, right? So don't include anything in your findings that is not in scope of like what level you're trying to get to, right? So let's just say you're doing IG1. So then have some type of like bar chart or histogram, or not histogram, a bar chart or spider chart of where your current findings are. And then have a second, this is very specific, but have the bar charts of where you are and then where you want to be, right? So they overlay with each other, or the spider graph of where you are and where you want to be. And then what I like to do is give kind of an executive summary of, again, I like to do the crap sandwich. So I like to have, here's the best thing that you're doing. here's the worst thing that we're doing. Here's something good that we're doing that can help support fixing the crap thing that we're doing. And then, a recommendation. What you do not want, you want to present the entire picture objectively, but you don't want to overwhelm them with what your call to action is or what your next steps are. If you come in there and you're like, here's our thing, and we've got crap vulnerability management, we've got crap access controls, we've got crap supply chain, we've got crap physical control, like you're just going to overwhelm them. So you have to pick like one or two things that are like what you want to be your priority or like are the grossest things. Include all of the things in the report, but when you're talking to leadership, give them the objective high level. This is where we are. This is where we want to be. This is how we're going to get here. This is what it's going to cost. And the priority is rolling out multi-factor authentication and then drill into that. This is why we need this. This is the risk of this. I hope that answers your questions. James, you're VC, so this is what we do in GRC. Do you have any comments in addition to what I've said?
Yeah, pretty well. You nail it on the head, Jerry. I mean, everything that you said, spot on. The important thing is, be honest, be transparent. Don't try to hide it. Don't try to second guess what you think the board is going to say or what they won't do or whatever else. Present them with the options. Have the ask of what you need. What is it you need from the board? Is it the money? Whatever it may be. Present it in their language. It's all about risk. It's all about, reputation. It's all about profit loss, whether nonprofit or for-profit organization overall. But just be transparent overall with regards to it, talk in their language and have the ask.
Yeah. And I would also say, like, he adds additional insight here. He says it's my first assessment
my
for
nonprofit.
nonprofit. So I think Belfast Bright Brawler, I know if you go into my GRC analyst masterclass, like I actually have like an enterprise risk assessment report template, but you want to do the full report, right? So you should have all the meat and potatoes in the report, but then you want an executive summary, one pager at the top that basically high level, what is CIS? What was your approach? What are your findings? And what is your ask for them? And definitely the visual, again, I love infographics, but like, it's not just because I have an affinity for them. Like they are very good at communicating a lot of information in a very easy to digest format. That spider chart or that, I don't know what they call it, but like the dual bar charts are the great way to do it. Yeah, because the problems will present themselves quite easily. So good luck with that, dude. Super pumped for you. It's a great exercise too. All right, we got questions in chat for days here. Is anyone interested in the Flipper 1?
Yeah, sure, why not?
It does look cool. I bought the Flipper 0.
It does look cool.
I never used it.
It's a way off, and it's probably going to be hotter than the Flipper 0. So, yeah.
Marcus Kyler says he's going to stand up an LLC by Q3. Nice job. He's got different audiences he wants to serve. Wondering if he should start the LLC as my own name and register some DBAs for different functions underneath. Well, this gets very into the specific details of a business. Yeah. I'll tell you, Marcus, I have, it depends on what you want to do. And again, this is getting into the weeds on this. I recommend it seems intimidating and overwhelming to start a business, but it's really not once you get like past the initial, so goddamn, for a couple $100, you can register a business in your state. Super easy. You open a bank account, once you register with the government, IRS, so you can get an EIN, which is like a tax ID, and you're off and running. Here's what I would recommend on this. So my business is actually called Coastal Information Security Group, and then Simply Cyber Media Group and Simply Cyber Academy, which generate money, all roll up to that. So I just have that one business entity, which is fine because I don't really care. I invoice and it's fine and everything's fine. And I've just got these two business units. So having different customers, you don't really need to split it up like that necessarily. Two, I wouldn't register it under your own name. I mean, register it as Marcus Kyler, but you might want to call it a different business name so it's not Marcus Kyler LLC, right? Apparent Security for James. He just did this. One thing I will say, so what's the long-term goal with it? when I created my business, it's a consulting firm, right? That was the original business and it's evolved over time, but it was a consulting firm and it was just going to be for me. And I had no plans of selling it. I still don't have any plans of selling it, etc. There's a ton of entanglements with it. I have a vision for a TV show that is celebrating nerd culture. And it's this whole idea that I think is super cool. And I will be executing on it in Q4, hopefully. I've got a co-host, there's segments, the whole thing. I actually stood up a separate LLC called Nerdpocalypse LLC, and it's separate from Coastal. It has its own tax ID, its own everything. I'm still the owner of the company and the founder, but it's a separate entity. And the reason is because I would love to grow Nerdpocalypse and then get acquired by like Netflix or Amazon Prime or something like that. Like I want to make that modular so I can sell it and send it. So that's why you would want to do these things. And I don't even think you need to register DBAs. I mean, everybody knows Simply Cyber is Simply Cyber, but my business, when you get an invoice, says Coastal. Yep. James, I mean, you just did this. You have any thoughts?
Yeah, no, the thing to consider also is whether you do LLC single or LLC S Corp, where you have the people that work for you. There are, if you have anybody or know anybody that's a CPA, talk with them regarding which one is better to go with. I started LLC kind of as a sole proprietor, just me, with running the business out of my home, with consulting, and I'm working in my home. There are other tax breaks you get with an S Corp, where you have people working for you and you could have your family working for you. That you get the different tax breaks there. So check with the CPA, do your research with regards to that, depending what's going to work best for you. So,
yeah, I would agree. I will tell you, if you do this, Marcus, there are incredible tax breaks, all completely legal, completely legal. Consult a tax advisor, but yeah, my family works for the company, and there's a lot of tax mitigation strategies.
Yeah. I wish I had formed an S Corp. I should have done. I formed it as a single because again, I'll be fine. Wasn't until I got the S Corp going.
You can fill out a simple form and flip it. Yeah, we're an S Corp.
Yeah, I'll be doing it after once I get through my first tax season in September. Then I will probably look to flip it in the new year. Start the new year off as an S Corp.
Nice. Get it.
I want to get to December, see how I like doing this overall. If I like it and I want to keep going, then I'll keep going. If not, then look to get back into something permanent. But I'm having fun. I'm my own boss. I love the flexibility of doing multiple projects. It's fun balancing it. It's kind of what I've been doing for the last 20 years anyway. So it's just getting paid for all of it. So good stuff.
Space Tacos, what's the best gift you got from your kids? I'll tell you right here. This pocket knife. I got this pocket knife from my kids, I don't know, 5 years ago, 6 years ago. I love it. I never was a pocket knife guy. I was always a nerd, but like I use this thing all the time. And it's turned into a joke where like say we get a package in the mail or something like that, or like whatever. We're going to try and open a box of Belvita cookies or whatever. My kids will be like, pocket knife, or like, where's that dad pocket knife? It's like turned into a thing. In fact, don't tell the kiddos this, but like I accidentally took this through TSA and they confiscated it. And obviously they're like, oh, you can take it, and go put it somewhere. I'm like, I've got to get on a plane. So TSA confiscated version 1.0. I went online and purchased the exact same one and swapped it. So if the kids are watching, sorry, but hey, you know what? It's the thought that counts. Good. James, what do you got?
I think Father's Day. Well, one of the coolest gifts I got from my kids is it's in my car. So most of us nowadays, we have the push buttons for starting our cars. My kids got me this Iron Man cover. And what it is it goes around the start button. It sticks to it, but you have to lift the Iron Man mask to push the start, and then you flip it down. So it's kind of like one of those, missile launch guards. But it's an Iron Man thing. It's, it was a simple thing and I love it. People get in my car and they're like, oh my God, that's so cool. It's like, yep, flip, start the car, close the little lid again.
I love it. That's so cool.
Yeah. It's the little things, it isn't always a big ticket item. as much as I'd love to have the Lego Death Star, but that's it's the little things that that they buy or they make.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Hey, and if you got any favorite gifts,
Drop them in chat. Yeah, let's know what your favorite gift is. Yeah.
Cybersecurity for Fun says job I applied to has closed and is reopened. My application is still under review. I applied during the first job opening. What might be happening here?
I've seen this a lot.
Mhm.
A lot of the time, it's playing games. It's HR. It's with their board. It's showing that, hey, we're actively trying to hire people, but they're not. And I've seen this across different industries: graphic designers, healthcare, finance, and so forth. It's in HR trying to show that, hey, we got this many applications or these many positions open. Other times it's they had somebody lined up and then it fell through, and now they're going to start the whole process all over again rather than going with the second person. But sometimes it's they're playing the numbers game. Other times it's the person they wanted fell through and they've got to start all over again based off their policies.
All right, there you go. It sucks. I'm sorry. Cybersecurity.
Very much so.
Digital Ghost, aka Lazaro Rivera, says he's not getting his anti-siphon training cert. So who does he contact? I don't personally know. I know they've had some turnover over there. My recommendation would be to go into the anti-siphon Discord server and ask there. That's where I would go. And you can get on that really easily. Where's the
they do have a customer support phone number, and they have a contact page on anti-siphon training. You could probably drop something in if that hasn't worked.
If you go to discord.gg/anti-siphon, you'll join their Discord server too.
Yep.
And I know the people over there. They're going to be quick to respond. So you'll get your answer, Lazaro.
Yeah.
Cap Taxa says job range 88 to 155. Jesus, that's a range.
Mm-hmm.
Recruiter told me to ask 100K. How do I strategically anchor my ask at 115, 120 without pricing myself out? Well, I guess if you're speaking to someone, here's what I would do based on this very simply. When you actually speak to someone and they say, what's your, how much do you want for this job? Right. And you want to use a number. What I would say, two things. One, I would say, well, I saw that the range goes to 155. I feel for my level and the value I can bring to the organization that my range is 120 to 115. That's how I would do it. So I would frame it by first stating their upper number, then showing that your range is under that number, which is reasonable. And there's another thing I just did there that's like very specific, and I don't know if you guys caught it. Whether it works or not, I'm not sure, but I believe it does work from a psychological perspective. When I'm giving proposals or quotes or ranges or something like that, I always give the higher number first. A lot of people will say my range is 100 to 120 or 80 to 100. Flip it around and say my range is 100 to 80 or 120 to 115. The reason being is the person hears the number first and they'll anchor on that. So when you give them a lower number second, it's like, oh, that's better. Ooh, it'll make them feel better. You're already anchoring and then reducing it. So that's what I would do. James, anything around just financial compensation and this conversation with employment?
Yeah, I always go higher than, for me, it's, go like 10% higher than what you think you deserve, because they may talk you down. 10% is kind of a good range that I've experienced with regards to that. But if you can back it up with why you think you deserve more, you don't know what everybody else makes in that organization or there. So, always go a little higher. They'll always talk you down.
Thank you for the question. And I hope that helps other people as well. Looking through chat for a Q and questions. Here's one really quick. James, any great sites you recommend to learn lockpicking?
Tool. TOOL. The open organization of lockpickers. TOOOL. TOOOL.us. They are usually the ones that we see at the villages, the lockpicking villages at various conferences, whether B-Sides or DEF CON or wherever else. There's another company that does lockpicking as well, and their name is escaping me, but I've seen them. You had them at Simply CyberCon. Is it
Foxpick? Yeah.
Foxpick. That's the other one that I would recommend. But I know Tool is kind of like a organizational group that does have info.
That's where I go. And then Lockpicking Lawyer is a great YouTube video where they'll show you how to pick locks and stuff. I like, and just really quick, if you're looking for where I buy my lock picks, which was recommended by Jenny over at Foxpick, is Sparrow, SPARRO. Sparrow Picks is a great product, great site. Looking through chat, here we go. Cyber Risk Witch says, not cyber. By the way, Cyber Risk Witch always putting the phone for the hotline. I love it. Not cyber, but curious, how you guys handle AI hysteria, people who are scared and angry. She said she's seeing people who I personally know. James, you're nodding. What do you got?
My own family. Both my daughters are artists. One's graphics. The other one is an actor. And as I mentioned, my oldest daughter was here, and the hatred for AI is huge. And so a lot of it has been try to be calming with it. It's like, yes, and acknowledging what they're saying. It's like, yeah, you're right. It's scary out there. You've got AI that can create voices. Jerry, you were talking about it with regards to your father. I've had family members come to me and go, hey, can you do it for my mom that's passed away? And I'm like, I can do it, but it's not 100%. But yeah, a lot of it is acknowledging that, yeah, it is scary that it's out there, but also this is the good that it's doing. This is how it's allowing us to be more efficient. It's not replacing. If you've got people that are looking, and we're seeing it with businesses where they're firing people because it's like, oh, I can get AI to do the work better. And then they're quickly realizing, oh no, we need more of the humans to be able to, oversee this. You can get the AI to come in and do all the vibe coding you want and creating all the applications you want. But even as human programmers go through and they see that there's issues with it, there's problems, there's simpler ways to do it. You still need that human leading all of it to be there. So yeah, people are scared. I get it. It's just like any new technology that comes along. It's just a matter of addressing it. And then for me, sharing what's good about it.
Yeah. And another thing that I like to deal with, because hysteria, in my opinion, a lot of hysteria comes from like lack of information, just feeling like, oh, like this is what I think it can do, or this is the extremes. I always like combating that type of stuff with like real information. So Cyber Risk Witch, it's not easy to do this, but like having people use AI and play with AI, like, listen, like for example, OpenClaw was like, oh my God, everybody's going to have OpenClaw. Ugh. Go use OpenClaw. It sucks. Like, I think it sucks. I had really terrible experiences with OpenClaw. So like once you use something, you kind of demystify it because you have real data points. You can really speak to it. So, okay. Good question. Thank you.
Very good.
Fred has a great question. What's your favorite team in the World Cup? I've watched a couple matches. James, have you?
Yeah, watched a couple. Saw one the other night where they scored at like the 96th minute. I think it was Ghana and somebody else from, I think, Africa. But my favorite team to win the World Cup, England, always.
Okay, there you go. I
Home
will
country,
tell you,
baby.
Obviously, I would love to see the United States perform well. I don't think that they have a World Cup winning team.
Right.
I've watched a couple matches. World Cup, I told my kids this the other day. World Cup soccer is like watching curling in the Olympics for me. Like, I don't care about soccer in general, but World Cup soccer, I'll watch any team play any team. Because to me, I love watching the best in the world play like something. Because it's like, this is what the absolute peak of this sport could be. Mm-hmm. I'll tell you, honestly, I watched the Argentinian game the other day. I know Lionel Messi is like, whatever, household name. He is exceptional to watch. So like, I'm feeling it would be a great story to see Argentina win back-to-back. it'd be a great story to see him get like, the gold foot or whatever it is, the player of the
Golden
tournament.
Yep.
That and I saw Norway play the other day, and they're kind of a likable bunch of people. So that's who I'm liking.
I mean,
Who do you,
USA, they're holding first place right now, right?
Who? Argentina?
No, USA in Group D. They've won their first game, right? So.
Oh, is that right? Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I can't click on the stupid. Hold on one second.
You looking?
Yeah. Well, I don't think you have access right now because I had to revoke your access for Daniel yesterday.
Right. Okay. That's why it looked different today. Okay.
James, any thoughts on CompTIA's AI cert? I don't have any.
I haven't even looked. I didn't know they came out with a cert. Doesn't surprise me. CompTIA is always looking at those entry level certs. I'm sure that AI cert is probably entry level. I'd be curious to see what they're focusing on. Most likely it's going to be around generative, going to be around securing the AI applications. Maybe some governance is probably thrown in there as well. I don't have any per se. I'd have to look at it, Jose, and see. But, if you're getting into an industry and you need to validate or show that, hey, I know what I'm talking about with regards to AI more than anybody else, maybe. But a lot of that's going to come down to what you've done. There's so much with AI out there right now. We're still growing and learning, and will be for the next few years. So for me, a lot of it would be have a look at what they're asking for and kind of go out and do your own research. So there's a lot of free things online to learn and kind of start putting together your own AI portfolio, apps you've vibe coded, some prompts that you've worked and used, what experiences you've had, write a blog or several blogs regarding what kind of experiences you've had working with AI as well. And that'll help strengthen you as a AI expert if you need that cert, unless there's a job that's requiring it, and then make them pay for it.
Phil Stafford's letting us know that our own Simply Cyber community member, John V, was a SME on the SEC AI Plus. So to me, that
John,
gives even more credibility to that, since I know John is amazing with AI and understanding it all. Thank you for letting us know, Phil. A lot of you chiming in that United States plays today, World Cup soccer. Do we know what time that match is? USA versus Australia?
Playing Australia, 3:00.
3 p.m. Eastern. Dope. I will be in a meeting. Boo. But I will,
you can stream it, put it on your, you no doubt you'll be able to stream it on your computer, have it playing there next to it.
I know, but I've got to interview CISO for a project I'm working on that you're also working on.
Oh, that. Okay. All right. Have fun.
Boo, boo. I say boo. All right. So if you have any questions in chat, drop them with a Q. I've tried to get a couple more people on the panel today. I don't know what very weird situation today. Maybe it's Juneteenth, maybe it's Father's Day. I'm not sure, but we had a dramatically low head count for Daily Cyber Threat Brief. And now there's 182 of us in chat live right now, which is great, but we typically average about 250 for Cyber Career Hotline. So really interesting observation here
It's also, summertime, right? Kids are getting out of school and families going on vacations.
Yeah. I myself will be driving 18 hours tomorrow. So if you wondered what it looks like for self, what's it called? Where it was big in like the crusade, like whatever, like where you take a whip and like whip yourself. What is that called?
Masochism?
No. It's like, that is masochism.
Self-mutilation?
There's a term for it. It's like
self-mutilation.
Huh?
Self-mutilation?
No. Like there's literally a specific word for whipping yourself. Because that needed a word. Hold on. Self-whipping term.
Self-flagellation.
Yes.
Flagellation. Yeah. And when you search for that, Jerry, what comes up first? Help is available. Speak with someone today. 988-SUICIDE.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm like I've just put myself on a radar by Googling that.
Well, we both have, yeah.
Here we go. So yeah, flagellation, self-flagellation. Thank you. By the way, just it's kind of funny. Michael Fink Code Brew, quick with that response.
Flagellation.
Yeah, that's so good. Not to be confused with flatulation. LOL.
Oh, that's something different altogether. Yeah.
Oh, by the way, James McQuiggan with the dad jokes of the week today. James did appreciate the Father's Day theme jokes. That was good.
Yep. Yep. I hope you don't mind. I threw in I know you've mentioned the boys, but didn't want
Oh
to.
yeah,
give
no,
up too
I
much on
didn't.
Chekhov, but
They're
yeah.
employees here, like
Yeah.
they're in scope.
But you know what? The best thing though is when I'm watching you react to when you first read the joke, and it's your reaction that I love the most. So
it is true. I do not read them in advance. It's another one of the reasons why I don't read the stories in advance.
Yeah.
You can't fake an honest first reaction a second time, right? So, Belfast Bike Brawler says, how many cups of coffee will Jerry have on the 18-hour drive? So, fun fact, again, if you guys know me for a minute, you know that I'm incredibly neurotic. I think this might be ADHD related. I have an entire program for what I ingest in my body on this drive because I've made this drive several times. So really quick, Belfast Bike Brawler, I will start with coffee, obviously. Around North Carolina, I will, like, once the sun comes up, I'll go to a Starbucks and get a large AF coffee. And then around Maryland, I start drinking 5-hour energies. It's the only time that I put energy drinks in my body. But yeah, as soon as I start getting naughty and punchy, I take a 5-hour energy. I don't get any it just clears me, and then I'm good to go. I try not to take a 5-hour energy after 5 p.m., 6 p.m. because I want to be able to go to sleep when I get to my in-laws. But yeah, that's the program. 5-hour. In fact, the 5-hour energies arrived just recently. My wife put in the order and got those lined up for me.
There you go.
I wish I had, this is so ridiculous, but I wish my seatbelt almost had bandolier holders, but instead of shotgun shells, it was 5-hour energy. That's a Father's Day gift I need.
There you go.
All right. Continuing to look through chat. Code Brew, any good audiobooks for the drive? Currently listening to Project Hail Mary, and the narrator is amazing. I would agree with you. I listened to Project Hail Mary last summer. So good. I will tell you, the audiobook of Project Hail Mary is so good that I listened to it while I ran. Multiple times, I either burst out laughing or I started ugly crying, which is weird because imagine driving by a guy who's just out for a run at 2:00 in the afternoon. He's just sobbing while running. But yeah, it's super good. I'm listening to Wheel of Time series. So epic high fantasy, Code Brew. The final one I would recommend, Dan Carlin's Hardcore History, is amazing for drives because every episode's 4 hours long.
Holy cow.
Oh yeah, dude. And if you want, Dan Carlin does, he does 30 hours on Japan's role in World War II. It's just 30 hours on Japan in World War II. Wow. James, are you an audiobook guy, and what are you listening to?
I've listened to audiobooks before when driving, sometimes depending on whoever's doing the reading, kind of gets droll and my eyes get heavy. So for me, the last audiobook, ironically, was Cuckoo's Egg. I have it sitting here. That was the last audiobook that I listened to while driving. Normally on road trips, we are a Broadway musical family. I think I mentioned it yesterday. We will listen to Broadway musicals as we're driving because they're full of energy. We love singing along, even though I can't sing my way out of a paper bag, but I do what I can. My wife, my girls, they're all singers and wonderful singers. And so for us, it's Broadway musicals. Hamilton, Come From Away, Waitress, Legally Blonde. Yeah. So, and Hamilton's 2.5 hours. So that kills half the ride sometimes.
Hamilton is cool. I like Hamilton.
Hamilton's is a very neat soundtrack.
Michael Fink says he might check out the history thing. Just to remind, it's called Hardcore History with Dan Carlin. Supernova in the East is the Japan in World War II that kind of put him on the map. I'll tell you, all of Dan Carlin's collection is phenomenal. There's an amazing one on modern slavery called Human Resources that's very interesting. There's an entire series on the Persians, just the Persians during the Persian Roman conflict. That's excellent. It basically focuses on Xerxes' dad, which I think was, I forget Xerxes' dad's name, but it's all about him and how he built the Persian army to be the force in the world. And then there's one on Vikings that's quite excellent. So you've got a lot to pick from there. Speaking of road trips, does anyone carpool to Simply CyberCon, particularly from the Northeast? Good question. James, you're not in a position to answer that, nor
No,
am
I'm
I.
coming from the South. I'm coming from the Southeast, coming up from Central Florida.
Yeah, but if people are looking to carpool for Simply CyberCon, Soap Flavored is interested. I know Jesse Johnson, when he heads out to Wild West Hackenfest, always gets a carpool caravan going. So could be some interest there. Let Soap Flavored know. Nerds singing show tunes. So funny.
Nothing wrong with that, man. It's just us in the car. It's and listening to my kids sing. That gets you right here in the fields. That's my Father's Day gift.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Cyrus. Yes, I think it was Cyrus. Thank you. Michael Fink saying Darius the Great, potentially. Oh, I guess Phil Stafford's saying it was Darius. There's also there's an entire series Dan Carlin does on Alexander the Great, which is quite exceptional as well. All right. I will tell you, Simply CyberCon is November 8th and 9th. I think Ethan from Black Hills might actually come out for it.
Cool.
November 8th and 9th, if you're interested, B-Sides Charleston is November 7th. So B-Sides, no matter where you go, is typically held on a Saturday. So we like to partner with B-Sides as a local sister conference if we can. So you could do Saturday and then Sunday, Monday, Simply CyberCon, which is like a retreat more style vibe. So laws should be aware of about lockpicks in South Carolina. I don't know of any laws around lockpicks in South Carolina. I think like as long as you're not using them in the commission of a crime, you'll be okay.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. So we are caught up right now. James, while we got a few minutes, what do you got coming up? Where can people connect with you? You know, share some stuff. Like, let's pump the stock on James McQuiggan.
Yeah, right now, this just a lot of it's been working from home, but traveling Sunday, as I said, going to presenting at a educational technology conference in Alabama. It's closed to all of those folks, but publicly right now, I'm looking ahead in my calendar. The next big thing I'm doing is Hacker Summer Camp. I will be at, I'll probably be Hallway Con for Black Hat. I will definitely be at DEF CON. I'm doing Cognitive Security Conference. Probably go to B-Sides Las Vegas as well. I go for 10 days when I go to Vegas. It's a full-on thing. Probably might be at San Secure the Human. So, yeah, I'm working on my speaking circuit for the fall. So I'm readily available if people want to hire me to come do talks. So
there you go. And what's the best way to connect with you, James? So that
either connect with me through LinkedIn, jamesmcquiggin.com or parentsecurity.com.
All right, there you go, everybody. So if you want some James McQuiggan either to connect with or to have come speak to your to your group, jamesmcquiggin.com.
And I bring the dad jokes. And
he does bring the dad jokes.
Hopefully
Sarah
the book comes out
Montgomery, this Father's Day, what digital safety lesson would you most want fathers and father figures to pass on to their children, and why?
Wow. Sierra Montgomery always brings the awesome questions.
Yeah, I know
Love
she
it.
does. She does.
Yeah.
We got to get her on the panel sometime.
I know. I asked her today, and she's like, so not ready for that. And I'm throwing her under the bus. But sorry, Sierra.
Well, if you're going to throw her under the bus, I sent her a Signal message.
Me too.
I got a read receipt, but she didn't reply to it. So
yeah,
we're on to you, Sierra. Also, what's the to me the best lesson learned here is that people, for me personally, I tell my kids this all the time. People suck. Right? Like, you know, there's a lot of bad people on the internet that will lie to you, that will tell you what you want to hear, that will, you know, steal your Roblox, steal your V-Bucks, steal your crap. So got to have your guard up. It's not fair. You know, we surround you with good people, so you grow up to be like a good person, but you got to know there's a bunch of bad people out there, and you know, just kind of have a healthy sense of skepticism. What do you say?
Yeah, for me, a lot of it came down to, and this was early years with my girls giving them cell phones in 7th grade. Years ago, it was, you know, Snapchat had just come on the scene, and it was like, if I can't monitor it, you know, or have a look at it, then you're not on it. And it was funny because once I did let them on it, they were like, nah, Instagram's so much better. And they were back on Instagram. But for me, a lot of it came down to, and I think a lot of it helped because the industry I was in, I went to their schools and talked cybersecurity. And so I would always say, don't give me a reason not to trust you. Yes, there are a lot of bad people out there. There's a lot of people trying to scam you, but there are things that you're doing with your phone, pictures you're posting, that kind of stuff. Don't put anything online that you wouldn't want grandma and granddad to see. That's the kind of, don't be saying things that you wouldn't want other people to see, because whatever you put out there is out there forever. Don't give me a reason not to trust you, because I will turn on the monitoring. I will look at everything you post. I will look at the images, the text messages. It would have been a lot of work on me, and that was like something I didn't want to do, but trying to have those conversations with the kids. Kids are going to do stupid stuff. It's just a matter of making them aware, getting the behaviors in early. I'm still trying to get my kids to use password managers. So it's slowly happening.
I don't know about everyone's kids, but my kids are just, they're a lot like end users, frankly. Here, I mean, just like they're just like end users. Like they mostly want to do the right thing. They're like, my kids just want to play the game. They just want to post a video on YouTube. Like they just want to do the thing.
Yeah.
And if you give them the information to arm themselves with good decision making, they will choose good decisions, right? So it's all about awareness and education, not about strong handing. Now, again, I love soft power, right? So all my kids' devices have EDR on them. I use DNS for Cloudflare's DNS, so they can't go to adult sites or known malicious websites. So like they may not realize that they're swimming in a protected, fenced-in area, but they are. And they have, I'm not saying it's the illusion of freedom, but they have freedom to go wherever they want. It's just that I've built a wall around. It's like Jurassic Park, right? They can go anywhere in the park they want, but they really can't get outside the boundaries that I've built.
Yeah.
Which is fine because they don't even want that. Like their needs are met, just like an end user. I don't over permission them.
Right.
Everything comes back to GRC. Yes, sir. Phil Stafford, I didn't even read this, but I'm sure it's a good comment. He says, our rule was if you're using my network, then you may be monitored. Don't like it, buy your own. Yeah. Just
pay for your own cell phone. Yeah.
That's right. All right. We were at 9:57. We got just a couple minutes. I do want to share one thing of personal. Give me 1 second to share. Window. Boom. I did an interview with Jessica Hyde from Hexordia, the Jessica Hyde. It's their podcast called Truth in Data. It's a conversation all about the Simply Cyber community, why I built it, how I built it, why our community is freaking awesome. We go into deep detail on her experiences with our community and how our community is unlike any other community that she's interacted with, and she interacts with a lot. So if you're interested, I've pinned this video on the YouTube chat. You can go check it out. If you're on replay, you can just look at Truth in Data, Season 2, Episode 10. It just dropped at 9:30 this morning, June 19th, and go check it out if you're interested. I'm a big fan of Jessica Hyde. She's a friend of the community as well. So if you'd like to support her and learn a little bit about our community, maybe you're new here and want to know a little of the history, it's right there for you. Final questions coming in if you've got any, or final thoughts for anyone in the community. There's small number of us here, kind of a skeleton crew today. All right, lots of people.
Also a federal holiday today, which could be the other reason why we don't have as many folks.
It does look like a lot of people are interested in the carpooling down the East Coast. So go ahead and coordinate that on Discord if you want.
Good way to connect with folks and build those networks.
Yeah, 100%. I love it. All right, James, I think we're just at time. What do you say, buddy?
I'm good to go. We got to go catch Mr. Lowry's show.
Yes. Oh, actually, that's a great point. Let's go ahead and bring that up. Why don't you tell us about Daniel Lowry?
Daniel Lowry, I think he's about 6 foot, goatee, no hair. He loves to crack. He loves to crack his monsters. The funniest thing for me, whenever he does it, I have to mute, because as he's pouring that whole monster out, makes me, the body goes, oh, hey, that reminds me, I got to go to the bathroom. And it's like, ah.
Oh my God.
But that's how I always bust his chops with it whenever he does it. I was actually, I drove down to a conference a couple weeks ago, and I was kind of, as you're driving, you do the 5-hour energy drinks. I'm like, oh, let me get a Monster. And I swung into a gas station. I grabbed a Monster, and I sat in the car, and I was getting ready to crack it. I said, oh, I know what I'll do. And I filmed myself doing my own crack, and then taking a swig. And I sent that to Daniel, and he got a kick out of it. So, yeah, Daniel loves his crack.
I love it. I love it. I love it. It's so good. It's going to be a great conversation. Of course, look at this Goonie shirt he's wearing. I love the retro vibes on it. Quick shout out. I see Tech Ricky is over in Daniel's chat. I didn't see Tech Ricky in our chat.
What? Tech Ricky? Come on, dude.
Code Brew, can you have a word with Tech Ricky? We gotta get this guy sorted out.
Killing me, Smalls.
All right, here we go. Daniel Lowry's about to go live. Super pumped to go over and raid that dude.
Yep.
I'm Jerry from Simply Cyber. For James McQuiggan, thank you, chat. I hope you got value. Have a wonderful weekend. Happy Father's Day. And until next time, stay secure.